And welcome, everybody, to the new edition of the Locker Room Readout. This is your host, Sapphire Blue. And with us today again is Coach Eddie Scott, assistant head coach of the Shaw High School football team in East Cleveland, Ohio. Coach Eddie, how's by you?
What's up, Miss Sapphire? How you feeling today,
I'm
baby?
I'm so excited. I'm just so happy you're part of the Locker Room Readout moving into, as we say, perpetuity.
I appreciate you having me again, as always. I love being here. I love the show. Big fan of yours. So I'm glad just to be able to interact with you.
I
Love it.
appreciate that. I appreciate. Well, let's get our interacting on, shall we?
I'm ready for you.
All right. So, listen, Coach Eddie, we're on the backside of the combines from a
Yes.
coaching perspective. First, I'm going to ask you, do you feel like teams and fans get real insights, or is it more entertainment value?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. I think it falls in the category of it could give you insights, but I'm gonna be honest. Combine numbers don't always mean greatness on the field. So we've seen it many times where a kid goes in the first round because his combine numbers was great, and he skyrocketed up to first round from a third round and fizzle out. When you get on the field, it don't always transition over. So I don't really put all my eggs in the basket of the combine, but it's always good to watch. It's always a good time to watch.
So, from a coaching perspective, what are the things that you see at the combine that make you feel like this is the type of athlete that could fit into our system?
Well, if we talk about the Brown system, I was strictly looking at linemen. I'm not gonna even fly. I was looking at offensive line, uh, tackles and all that. The tackles, the guards. That's what I was looking at. To be totally honest with you, I will take a receiver. I think Lemon will be my pick. I think he's a faster, more elusive back. I mean, receiver for me. If I was gonna take a receiver, I know everybody won't Tate. I like Tate, but I just think I think Tate is more of a number two receiver rather than a number one receiver. But I wouldn't be mad if we got him. I think Lemon is more of a number one receiver, so I would probably go with him if I was gonna go receiver wise. But as far as linemen go,
Hmm.
oh man, look, so I'm big on tackles. I really like I think his name is Freeling from
Hmm. Hmm.
Georgia.
Hmm.
His speed is nice. Man, when I tell you he do the run block, pass block, he's good at it. I'm not gonna say he's great, but he's really good at it. And he doesn't lose too many battles, especially when he balanced. When he balanced, he doesn't. I haven't seen him lose a battle yet being balanced.
Okay, and you
Um,
know what? Take us deeper for fans and people that don't know what that coach speak is. Explain what balanced is.
well, balance meaning when he shoot off the ball, he's not leaning one way or leaning the other way. He's centered and he's able to block head on. So when he got a good balance, I haven't seen anyone beating, you know, from the tackle spot. Then he's able to running the 4.9. He's able to get to the next level
Yeah.
every time. So I'm big on him. I think he'll be a good fit for the Browns. He can play inside or he can play tackle. So also a great fit for us. Um, so for me, I know everybody big on Francis from Miami. I know everybody
Hmm.
big
Hmm.
on him.
Hmm.
I think he's gonna be great. I love the mullet, but yeah, I think Georgia. I personally think Georgia lineman was actually better for us
Okay.
than anybody else.
So,
So
and that leads me to my next question. I've been hearing a lot about this pressure allowed rate, right?
yes,
And so the Browns have just picked up Titus Howard from the
yes,
Texans,
good
and
pickup.
one of the things that I caught was he has a 3.4% pressure allowed rate, which is like supreme in the NFL. However,
Yes,
they just measured that within the context of a passing scheme,
Correct.
right? So clarify for us, take us deeper, what that means, okay? And when you think about that, is that a metric that you use to evaluate your linemen?
Yes. So 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 typically you're basing it off of how often if a quarterback drop back 10 times on the passing scale, how often do that lineman allow pressure on the quarterback? Again, if you're gonna just do 10, so it's easy out of 100.
Mhm.
So if he drops back 10 times and he only allow one pressure, that's great. That's only 10% of the time he's allowing somebody back there to put pressure on the quarterback. If he drop back 10 times, you allow eight pressures. I mean, get him out of here. He's trash. You
Okay.
know.
No, no, that's
um,
real, that's real. So
yeah,
let me ask you this, do you think that maybe one of the takeaways Browns fans can have because they picked him up is that their offense is gonna be more designed in and around the pass game versus the run game?
yes. So
Okay.
I think he was a big pickup for us. Yes, his run game can be elevated. I think it will get elevated, especially being going against like the Miles Garrett's, the Grams every day. Like you don't have no choice but to get better. But his pass game is man, it's amazing. I think for us, one of our biggest flaws was, man, we can't drop back to pass. So we
Mhm.
don't know how these other receivers gonna do because our quarterback was always running for his life. He didn't have the 3 seconds or the 3 to 4 seconds that most quarterbacks get. He was having 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds to get the ball out. So I think that was a huge pickup for us. Um, Again, we are talking about coming from the Texans. We know what he did for the Texans,
Yeah.
but we ain't got the best record when it comes to picking up Texas players.
I got you, I got you. I also noticed that, they moved him around a little bit too. He played right tackle, left guard, right guard. He played
And he was
88% of the Texans snaps. Yeah, speak on
yeah,
that.
and he was the best. He was the best lineman the Texans had. So for us to get him was is huge because, like I said, hands down the best tackle. I mean, hands down the best lineman on the Texans squad this year
It's
or
so
last year.
fast it's so fascinating because he's already said he's vowed to fix our offense, right?
Mhm.
And so I enjoy trash talking, to be
Yeah,
honest with you. I really do because I think it sets a tone. I think it feeds into the culture, an organization on the field, off the field really wants to have. So when
absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? Okay,
absolutely.
okay, any other takeaways for you from the combine?
Well, we could talk about Ohio State all day long. We saw what they did at the combine. I mean, they're
Defensive players, yes. We could
defensive
talk about their
players
season
are.
too. Don't get me started about why Air Nolan is no longer with that program. Coach E, don't get me started, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Aaron Nolan. I understood why he left. I mean, I personally wouldn't have left, but I understood why he left. I think it was a bad move on his behalf, but money talks now in college now. So
Yeah.
you offer me money and offer me a starting position. Yeah, I'm out of here.
But
So
he
I
didn't
could,
actually get that at South
but
Carolina, right?
yeah, no, they offered it to him, but he didn't get it. It was a waste of time.
So that should
You
be
know?
breach of contract, and the Buckeyes should be trying to get him back in the squad. Because I'm sorry, are you sold on Julian Sand?
No, I think saying has he does have nice mechanics. I'm not completely sold on him. I think he was much better than Howard, but you gotta think he only was a freshman,
I thought he was at least a sophomore.
so
Maybe.
maybe a sophomore this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
He's a freshman
Yes,
sophomore
we could
who
check that
haven't had
out.
no playing time until this year. So
I mean, yes, and I just feel like these big time college programs, when
mhm.
these young men are getting paid money, like you just mentioned, they're getting some really nice chuck, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Then they should be I guess my expectation is that they would be better able to handle the moment. And I feel like the games that the Buckeyes lost, the offense kinda kept pace with the quarterback, you
Okay,
know?
so
Uh,
here's my thing about the Indiana game, and then
okay.
I tell everybody it's a difference when you playing grown men versus when you playing kids your age. You know, everybody in Indiana. is averaging 25 years old.
Mm,
That's a 2 3 year player in the NFL right now.
okay.
So I get it. Congratulations, your national champions. But you're grown. You guys could have been in the NFL already. You know,
Interesting. So it almost feels like you're saying it was kind of like a unfair advantage at
absolutely,
the Hoosiers. You really
absolutely.
believe that?
I do. I do. I'll be the first to say it, and I'll argue with anybody up and down. You
Interesting.
take. You got to think about it. You have. Okay, it's a reason. Here's a perfect example. There's a reason why you can't go from high school to the pros in football. It's a reason why you can't do that. You can go from you can use to go from high school to pros in basketball because it's not as physical. Your strength physically is different from college to the NFL.
Okay.
It's drastically different. And you have 25-year-old men playing against 18-year-old boys. It's going to be a difference. You're going to see a
Interesting.
difference. So
I receive
yeah,
that.
I
I can
guess
receive that.
yeah, I can see why you won. I mean, I'm not taking it away from you. You guys won. You found a loophole in the rules and took advantage of it.
Oh,
So
okay. Now you're showing your Buckeye like fandom right now.
no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. I'm not thinking. Of course, I'm a Buckeye fan. Let's
Of
go.
course.
Oh wait,
IO
but
baby.
but the truth is the truth. Like you take you got 18-year-old, 19-year-old kids versus 25-year-old kids. I mean, these guys are grown, man.
Okay.
Like
So is all this to say that you expect Julian Sand like very significantly improved performance in those pressure situations going into next season?
I think he'll be a much better quarterback this year.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm sorry I got us off track, but
Nah, he's no Eric Nolan. I think Eric Nolan just a. I think Eric Nolan. They both, as far as arm wise, I think they both
Mhm.
got great arms and read defenses pretty well. I think Eric Nolan is a more athletic quarterback.
Okay. Okay. Total package.
Total
That's what I would call it,
package.
total package.
Yep, he's a total package.
All right, all right. So we cleaned up on the combine. I want to like jump over to the elder league, the NFL. We got a
Okay.
lot of, I would call them rumblings happening. I want to touch on the Colts with
Mm-hmm.
Jones. Okay, get your
Okay.
thoughts on how they're dealing with him. And then also I want to say this: the Bears center, Dahlman, like
Mm-hmm.
unexpectedly retired. I think he's like 27
I'm
years
about to
young.
say she's really young.
What do you think contributed to that?
It could be a lot of things. Um, it could be health wise. I really don't. I'm not sure. Like, it could be health wise concussions. Could have been dealing with concussions often, and decided that his health was more important. Uh, I made
Like,
enough
the team
bleeds.
had no idea.
No, he,
Like,
he
it
didn't even
came
give
from,
a
like,
he didn't give a hint that he was leaving. It wasn't like, oh, it's a possibility. He just left. I mean, and
walked away from money, walked away from a team that really is coming up. I mean, they got,
yeah,
Caleb over there, and, like, it just made
yeah,
me feel
it's
like
it's a real
something
reason behind
else.
it. It's
Yeah.
something behind it. I wish he would have spoke more on it. I wish he would have spoken on it at all because I haven't read or seen anything that speaks on it. But I'm almost certain for a player to leave like that, it has to be some injury related, and realizing that it's not worth my life.
Interesting. That's a grown man move right there. Um,
Facts.
so speaking on grown man moves, your thoughts on how the Indianapolis Colts are managing their quarterback situation?
Um, I think I think they're doing it right, but
Mhm, mhm.
also doing it. I can't say wrong. It's not wrong. It's just like it's weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? To put the tag on him and not the franchise tag on him, the
Transition
traditional
tag.
tag,
Yeah.
which allows you to go seek other guys to possibly get other jobs, but also saying, hey, if they give you, say, 15 million, I get to match that. You can't go unless I match it. Now, if I match it, you have to stay with us. So, I think it's the right move, but it also says that you're not really sold on him.
Absolutely. There it
You
is,
know,
Coach E. There it is. It's the subtext.
yeah, because if you were sold on him, like most player people would be, you would have gave him a contract already.
Mhm.
They gave him a good
Mhm.
contract, but for you to wait on that, it shows that you're not trusting him.
It just it makes me wonder, and we'll jump back into this cuz we're up against the break. It makes me wonder, is it really more about the injury he sustained last year, or just what you said? There's still some questions they have about his capabilities as their
Yeah,
starting quarterback.
it could be a little bit of
So,
both. It could be both. It
mm,
absolutely could be both. You know.
all right, let's do this. Y'all, we're going to jump off of live and we're going to go back into our normal session. I want to thank you for listening to the Locker Room Readout. Be well.